Hey there guys, this is Alex Java here. I'm back with another video. I'm sorry that it has taken so long. I just kind of been going through the mindset of how I wanted this to turn out and what I can give you guys out of it so that you can learn from this and maybe start creating your own type of games. So thank you guys for the ones that have stuck by and subscribed to my channel. I very much appreciate it. And right where we left off is right here. So basically we did the score, and then we just have this to where we can actually click on it and then it gives us a point. So the only thing I did different right now is I just moved the circle from the middle to the top, and I just said draw the circle instead of filling it, so it's gonna be more like a bubble. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that now. So you go to objects in game. Let's see here. Okay, so you see draw oval, and then here at the launcher you can see I did launcher.width divided by 2 minus 30, and then I put the y coordinate at 20. So that puts it right there at the top and pretty much in the middle of the screen. So when you click it, then you get the score of 1. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to start spawning a bunch of these bubbles in like a random random y coordinate. So we'll just go ahead and do that. The first thing that you're going to need here in launcher is random equals new random, and then you're going to need a long timer using system.currentTimeMills. Okay, once you got those two, we'll go ahead and make this private. Go down here to update, and you want to say if system.currentTimeMills minus the timer is greater than, we'll just do 1,000, which is 1 second. Then you want to restart the timer. This way it will do what you need it to do again, like over and over. And then we'll say handler. Well, actually, you know what? We'll just copy this right up here. It'd be easier. And then instead of let's see, do we want the x the same? No, actually we want to change the x right here. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually leave it like that, but we're going to do r dot next, or I'm sorry, random dot next int, and maybe we'll go ahead and remove the minus 30. We'll leave it like that. So this should generate a random bubble like within that X region. I'll show you right now. And this will be every second, as you can see. So now that we have that, we'll go ahead and we could probably go ahead and start making these bubbles move. So we'll go ahead and start doing this pretty easy. So let's just go ahead and go to objects in game, and we'll say if no wait, oh, I think yeah. Okay, if is moving, then we'll go ahead and set velocity y to, we'll say 0 point, well, no, we'll just do 1 for now. That way it's going to move it down. So to do the is moving, to get that to go away, just go inside of entity class. Oh, it was start movement. Okay, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and do moving. So just put moving is equal to true, protected boolean, right there where your remove circle is. And then once you do that, just right click this, go to source, generators, getters and setters, just like before. Go ahead, you guys don't have that, but I'll delete that part. So then it'll create this. Probably don't need to, yeah, we need that. Okay, we need both of those, just in case. So if it is moving, velocity y is equal to 1, or the velocity y is equal to 1, sorry, and it's already true because we set that here in entity. So when you do this, as you see, now they're starting to fall, and then you can click them, and then your score will continue to keep going. Now, I mean, you can make this harder by increasing how fast it comes down, you know, things like that. So, and then let's say if maybe we don't want them to go off the screen, like, well, I mean, they won't necessarily go off the screen because like we don't have the X going anywhere, so it's not really going to do anything. But what we actually could do to make it like cooler, I guess you could say, is we'll make them bounce off of like this little line right here. We'll just set a barrier. So what we could do is actually we'll go ahead and create a new object, right? So we'll say object floor. Let's go ahead and extend the entity class because it's an object. Just add this stuff in again. You just hover over that and then it should pop up. Control F, replace all with nothing. Same thing for this, replace all with nothing. Override, take that out. Okay, so the floor ain't gonna move apparently. So let's just do set the color to, let's do a black. Okay, let me see. Hang on 1 second. Okay, yeah, that'll work. So let's just do black. We'll fill this rectangle. XY width height, that's fine. And the reason that you're getting this error is because these are doubles. So you gotta do parentheses and put ints. Okay. And then up here, we'll go ahead and do, oh well, never mind, you don't have to do anything for that. Let me see, how, okay, so let's go back to the launcher, right? And just like this, do the handler dot add entity, new object, floor. Okay, like that. Now it's going to take an X, a Y, the ID, and then just say this, referring back to the launcher, okay? So what we need to do is we'll just go ahead and set a nice little thing for it real quick. We'll just say 100, 100. Now, how big is our screen? So the height is 512. So let's just do an even number of 500. Here's that for the X. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that didn't make any sense at all. I'm sorry. So let's just do launcher with okay divided by 2. That's just going to put it in the middle, okay? And then for the Y, you want to bring that down to 500. Okay. And now we'll do ID dot floor. And then we'll put this, referring back to the launcher once again. So then you want to go to your ID and then add in the floor. Here we go. Perfect. What are we missing? Okay, the import for that. And oh, okay, so we didn't need this right here because we're not doing anything for that yet, but we're gonna go ahead and just add that anyway. So just go ahead and add that back, and then we'll put this in real quick. Launcher, and then this dot launcher. I'm sorry guys if this is confusing you. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do that because we're actually gonna need that. So we can go ahead and put this back as this. Okay, so that clears that out. Now what you want to do is go back here to entity, do public abstract void, or I'm sorry, rectangle, and then get bounds. Sorry about that dog. That's our next door neighbor's dog. Normally that dog doesn't bark at all, but for some odd reason it is. So once you add rectangle get bounds, you'll have this again. Just implement it into both of your objects. Okay, that'll go away. And all you gotta do is do return new rectangle x, y, width, height, right? Then do your ints again. Then you just copy this, use it for your other object. And the reason that we do the like variables for x, y, width, and height is because it's easier to change. So if you ever need to change it, you won't have to come all the way back here and then end up changing like this stuff. It'll just always stay the same unless you change this for some reason. Then it'll change everything if you have like multiple objects in that same class. So let me see. Okay, so we actually need a width and height for this. So we'll do width is equal to how long is this? 700. So we'll do half of that for now. And then we'll make the height at we'll say 20. So not too high. And I think it's already added. I think we have added it. Yep, we're gonna make this look a little neater here so we can see it a little better. Okay, so here's the floor, here's the bubble itself. Let's go ahead and launch the game. Okay, so we might have to raise this up a little bit. So change your y coordinate to 400. Okay, there we go. So now we can see that. Alright, so an easy way to do this is we're going to head, do this, and then, well, I guess I could just show you like this. So you just do the debugging, right? Hit the launcher, and then it'll basically be the same thing, right? But anytime that you change the object floor, this will change automatically, so you won't have to keep clicking out and then bringing it back. So let's just say I want this at 500, or actually we'll do 600. Oh, well, it didn't change that time. That must okay, so it must only work for updating maybe. Alright, so let's try to move the X. Let's move the X at 0. Okay, we'll do maybe 10. Alright, so then let's stretch it out a little more. Let's go ahead and just do the whole 700. Alright, now we could probably drop that back down to, we'll try 2. And we'll do 0. Alright, so that was kind of weird, but that's alright. So now we have this nice little line here. But drop the Y coordinate down a little bit more. This is the X coordinate, remember. And for your Y coordinate, we gotta increase the number in order to go down. So let's just do maybe 430. Okay, that looks almost there, so we'll do maybe about 480. Alright, so I mean you could keep it like that. That looks decent, but yeah, actually want to see it. So we'll do like 475. Ain't looking too bad. 470. You guys can play around with this and do it however you like. 65, let's try that. Okay, I think that looks good enough. We'll do 465, that looks pretty good. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is these bubbles are going to like just bounce off of this and they're gonna go back up, okay? So in order to do that, let's just go to, okay, that's already set, so let's go to the launcher class, right? Here an update. Now we're just gonna do for int I is equal to 0. I is less than handler dot entity dot size. Or you know what? Hang on. Actually, let's just do this inside of objects in game. So, which is the bubble. Because it'll be easier to do it this way. Alright, so if, or wait, for int I, just like we were doing. I have to do launcher though. Launcher dot why is launch dot handler, where's that at? Do we have the get handler? Yes. Okay, so do the get handler entity dot size if, or no, I'm sorry, entity e is equal to launch dot handler dot get or entity dot get I. So it's gonna get this, okay, and I say if e dot get ID is equal to ID dot floor, and the reason that we're saying floor is you'll see in a second. Sorry about all that noise. They're being loud over there. So now, okay, if the ID is equal to floor, and then if get bounds, which is down here, what we just made, dot intersects the e dot get bounds, refer back to the floor. That's what this is. And I mean, you could even change this to maybe like ID, so maybe that's easier to read for you. Then you want the velocity y to be equal to negative velocity y. Okay, so that should like you know what, we're actually just gonna go ahead and make a speed for this. So just do private int speed. Well, let's do double instead. Okay, speed is equal to 1. And we will say velocity y minus speed. So that way it should shoot it back up. We'll just say this is equal to speed. If is moving is equal to speed. So that should do that. This ain't gonna be 100% accurate with hitting this, but yeah, see, now it's just sticking to it. So let's try minus equal to speed like that. See what that does. That's weird. Let's see. Do system.out.println. Let's print out the speed here. See what's happening. It's not going in a negative. Okay, so that should have been right. So velocity y is equal to negative speed, which should shoot it back up. But I think since the coordinates are not right, let me see. Okay guys, I'll be back. I'll have to debug this real quick. So hold on 1 second. Okay guys, so I found the issue. What I had done wrong is when I went to the velocity or the objects in game, so like the speed for some reason was like messed up. Maybe I'm doing it wrong at this moment, but just go ahead and take the speed out, remove that, okay, and then the velocity y is equal to 1 here, right below the width and height, and then down here where the get bounds intersects get bounds ID, this velocity y equals negative velocity y, okay? And then for the get bounds rectangle, for both the object floor and the circle, just keep it the same. X, Y with height, no changes at all to that. So as you see right here on the floor, no change to that, and then circle, no changes there. And then once you run your game, after you changed all of that, you can see when it comes down, it'll actually start bouncing off of there. And then they'll just go right back up. And then that'll be it for now. What I'll do is probably when they pass this little barrier up here at top, we'll go ahead and just like remove them, and then maybe your score will get minused, or excuse me, maybe your score will get minused for like not getting them. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe if you're not already, and once again, thank you, and I'm sorry for this video taking so long to get up. I really do appreciate you guys. So I'll see you then. Like this video. Peace.